Hello students, welcome to the first part of alternating currents. So first we should understand the meaning of alternating. Alternating means which alter itself. Now when something alters itself, it is done with respect to anything. So here current is altering itself with respect to time. And in this chapter we are studying alternating EMF and current, its average or mean value, root mean square values, AC circuit with resistor, inductor and capacitor, series LCR circuit in AC, and quality factor with resonance effect, graphical representation, frequencies versus XL and XC, where XL and XC are the reactance of inductor and capacitor respectively, power in LCR AC circuits, wattless current, LC oscillations, transformers, and AC generators. The phenomena of AC generator is based on the process of Fleming's right hand rule, which we have studied in magnetism or magnetic effect of current. So first we start with alternating EMF. So what is alternating EMF? We have to study this first. So alternating EMF is that EMF which continuously changes in magnitude and periodically reverses its direction. It means this changes its magnitude, and definitely it is changing its magnitude with respect to time, and also direction is get reversed. It means it follows crust and trough nature, that is our transverse nature. Alternating current is that current which continuously changes in magnitude and periodically reverses its direction. Definitely with time it is also changing its magnitude and it's reversing its direction also in form of crust and trough. Now you can see in front of you there is one axis in which we have shown angular displacement theta, which is also equal to product of angular frequency omega with time t. This small time t is an instantaneous time. Instantaneous time means time at any instant. Now along with theta, which is starting from 0, definitely time is also 0 at that moment. For pi by 2 we have taken time as t by 4, where capital T is total time period. So it means t by 4 means what? T by 4 means 1 by 4th power of 1 by 4th value of total time period. T by 2 means half time period. 3t by 4 it means 3 by 4 part of total time period, and capital T is a total time period, and so on. It means small t is an instantaneous time which may be less than capital T, that is total time period. It may be equal to total time T, and it may be more than that of. Clear? Now along y-axis we have EMF. You can see also it is varying itself. See, you can see that this graph is basically following the relation E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Sine is a trigonometric function, omega is the angular frequency, and small t is a instantaneous time period. Instantaneous time. You can see also on the same graph we have plotted current also. E naught is the maximum value of EMF, where I naught is the maximum value of current. As they both are following sinusoidal relation, that's why they are maximum at the same time, which is t by 4, and minimum at the same time, say t by 2. It means they will show the maximum value and minimum value at the same time period and at the same angular displacement also. We have I is equal to I naught sine omega t also, just like E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Now we are plotting another thing, same thing. Angular displacement is same, time period distribution is also same, as you can see on the right hand side. This is again EMF. Now this is following a cosine graph. The first one was following E is equal to E naught sin omega t. Then this will follow E is equal to E naught cos omega t, as you can see also. Because at t is equal to 0, cos 0 will be 1. And you get the maximum value of EMF, which is E naught. Same variation of current you can see also. It also follows I is equal to I naught cos omega t. Whereas E naught and I naught are the maximum value of alternating current and EMF. Now in front of you guys it is written also, E comma I is the instantaneous value of EMF and current. E naught and I naught, they are peak or maximum value of or amplitude of EMF and current. Omega is angular frequency, T is instantaneous time, omega t is phase, which is also an angular displacement theta, or phase also we can write. Symbol of alternating current is this, which is in front of you guys. It means in this slide you have seen, as both current and voltage, they are varying themselves with respect to time. That's why it is known as alternating EMF or current. We move to the next point, average or mean value of alternating current. What it means actually. Average or mean value of alternating current over half cycle is that current which will send the same amount of charge in a circuit in the time of half cycle as is sent by the given alternating current in the same circuit in the same time period. Understand the logic. Actually, average or mean value we have calculated in the form of current. We are saying it is the actually half value, it is the value of current for a half cycle of AC, not complete cycle, and it should be steady in nature. It will send some charge in the circuit. If current is flowing, definitely charge is flowing in the circuit. And how much time we are taking? We are taking half time period. So half cycle we are taking. In half cycle we are sending this much amount of charge in the circuit. Now the same amount of charge will be sent by the alternating current in the same circuit in the same period of time. We have assumed a small charge which is dq is equal to I into dt. So I as I naught sin omega t, so it will be dq I naught sin omega t dt. To find the total charge we have to integrate it, and we have started integration from 0 to t by 2 because we are taking half cycle. Now if we integrate, we can see that q is equal to 2 I naught by omega, and 2 I naught omega is 2 pi by t, so it will be 2 pi by t by 2 pi is equal to I naught by t by pi. Mean value of AC will be average value, which is charge into half of time period, charge by half of the time period. So it is written in front of you, that is, if we talk about mean or average value, so it is going to be 2 E naught by pi, which is also 0.637 I naught, and it is 63.7% of I naught. Now this value has come after integration because if we go for the integration of this function as in front of you, so I naught will be outside, and we know that if we integrate sine form, we get minus of cos omega t by omega 0 to t by 2. We will write like this. After integration this term, we get this value, and when we put the lower limit, so t will be 0, so cos 0 will be 1, minus we will put t as t by 2, and omega is already 2 pi by t, so t and t will cancel out, so you get the value q is equal to 2 I naught by omega, because it will give you 1. So after putting the limit in this, we will finally get this result. Now I think it is clear to everyone. Now we talk about average or mean value of alternating EMF. So how we now move with this? The same formula or same definition will come, that is average or mean value of alternating EMF over half cycle is that constant value of EMF which will send the same amount of charge in a circuit in the time of half cycle as it is sent by the given alternating current in the same direction in the same time period. So if you follow the same thing, you get after integration, that means now you will write dq is equal to not I dt, I can be replaced by E by R, I can be replaced by E by R. So this term becomes E naught by R sin omega t. This term becomes E naught by R sin omega t. And after integration of this term and after putting the value of upper value of integration, upper limit minus lower limit, you get the result like this. It is in front of you, that is EM, average or mean value will be average, which is 2 E naught by pi, or we can write 0.637 of E naught or 63.7% of E naught. So here is one point we have to note down, that average or mean value of alternating current or EMF is 0 over a cycle as the positive and negative values get cancelled. Now we talk about next root mean square or virtual or effective value of alternating current. Now what is root mean square value? Understand this. Root mean square RMS value of alternating current is that steady current which will produce the same heat in a given resistance in a given time as is produced by the given alternating current in the same resistance in the same time. In the case of average or mean value, we have considered amount of charge which is flowing in a circuit for half period of time, and the same charge was flowing because of alternating current in the same circuit for the same half time period. But in case of root mean square value, we don't consider charge, we consider heat energy. That means how much heat energy is produced by the RMS value of current in a complete cycle of AC, and the same amount of heat energy will be produced by alternating current in the same resistance in the same time period, which is complete cycle of AC. So we have assumed that there is a small amount of heat energy which is produced in time dt. So dH is written I square R dt. We all know this relation between heat energy and current and resistance. I is your I naught square R sin square omega t dt. Now to calculate the complete heat energy, we have to integrate from 0 to t. Now why I have taken t? Because we are considering the complete time period. Now after integration of sin square omega t dt, you get the relation I naught square RT by 2 when you put upper value minus lower value. So omega we have replaced by 2 pi by t because this is the value of omega. So the IV with the virtual value of AC, then your amount of heat energy produced by RMS value and alternating current for the same time period should be same, as this is the definition given to us. So these two equations will be equal, and we get as IRMS is equal to I naught by 2 or 0.0707 of I naught or 70.7% of total current. Now root mean square value or virtual or effective value of alternating EMF, you get the same values, only current will be replaced by EMF. Otherwise the relation is same and the derivation is also same. In definition a minute change will be there. In place of alternating current you will use alternating EMF everywhere. So what to now note down? Root mean square value of alternating current or EMF can be calculated over any period of the cycle, since it is based on the heat energy produced. Do not use the above formula if time interval under the consideration is less than 1 period. It means we have to consider up to 1 complete cycle, not less than this. Now we talk about relative values, peak, virtual and mean values of alternating EMF. You can see there is one graph in front of you. Your phase, that is pi by 2, 3 by 2, pi and so on, are actually eliminated by time, t by 4, t by 2, like this. We can see now E0 is the maximum value of EMF and EY is the instant, EV is the RMS value of this current, where EM is the average or mean value. It means E0 is the maximum, EV is less than that of, RMS is less than maximum, and average or mean value is less than even RMS value also. So EM is equal to average is 0.637 of total value of EMF, which is E0. So EV is equal to ERMS is equal to E effective 0.707 of E0. Now we talk about something else. The given values of alternating EMF and current are virtual values unless otherwise specified. That is 230 volt AC means in case of RMS value, the effective value is 230 volt. AC ammeter and AC voltmeter read the RMS value of alternating current and voltage respectively. It means if we use AC ammeter and AC voltmeter, then only they will read RMS values of alternating current and voltage respectively. They are also called as hot wire meters. The scale of DC meters is linearly graduated, whereas the scale of AC meter is not evenly graduated because H is directly proportional to I square, because DC doesn't depend upon time. Now we consider a situation in which we have connected a pure resistance in AC circuit. You can see there is one resistance R which is connected with AC. EMF is equal to E naught sin omega t. So I will be E by R. Your I will be E naught by R sin omega t. So I is equal to I naught sin omega t will come, where I naught is equal to E naught by R and R is equal to E naught by I naught. EMF and current are in same phase. So because you can find that EMF and current both are in same phase. So if we plot the graph of variation between them as we have plotted earlier also, you will find what? That your current and voltage, they are varying together like this. Blue one is your EMF, where I is your current. That is, blue one is of EMF and red one is your current. You can see maximum values of both E naught and I naught respectively. E is equal to E naught sin omega t and I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Now you can see further, there are two axes x and y. Now E naught is going straight because we are getting the straight value which is in the linear variation of E naught and I naught with omega t. Now if we talk about AC circuit with a pure inductor, inductor is a kind of coil. You have studied in electromagnetic induction. Its coefficient of self inductance is L. It is connected with the source E is equal to E naught sin omega t. So now E is equal to E naught sin omega t is the applied field. Induced EMF in the circuit is minus LdI by dt. This also you have studied in electromagnetic induction. In order to maintain the flow of current, the applied EMF must be equal and opposite to the induced EMF, because induced EMF always causes the always oppose the cause of its production. Therefore, E is equal to LdI by dt. So E naught sin omega t will be also equal to LdI by dt. So for di, E naught by L sin omega t dt will be there. Now what to do? To calculate a complete current, we have to integrate. So we have integrated both sides, and after integration you get this value. So what you see in this situation, that current is coming, I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2, where E is equal to E naught sin omega t. It means current lags the voltage by an angle of 90 degree, where I naught is equal to E naught by omega L, and XL, which I told you reactance of the circuit, is equal to omega L. So XL is the inductive reactance and its SI unit is ohm. Current lags behind EMF by how much angle? 90 degree. Now again we have a variation. EMF, if we plot like this, so as I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2, so if we plot the graph of variation between E and I, what do you find? E will follow the sinusoidal graph, where I will follow the cos graph, because it is equal to sin omega t minus pi by 2. E naught is the maximum value, so E is equal to E naught sin omega t, I naught is the maximum value, and I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. Now we can see again, E naught is going straight in first quadrant, I naught will be in the fourth quadrant, because it is sin omega t minus pi by 2 and it is minus sin omega t. So here is a variation. Omega t is the angle along x-axis, and the difference between I naught and E naught will be, again we can say, pi by 2, or omega t minus pi by 2 will be the angular difference between them. AC circuit with a capacitor. Now capacitor we have connected with an AC source. E is equal to E naught sin omega t we have written. So Q is equal to CV. In place of voltage we have written E, which is E naught sin omega t. I is equal to dq by dt. So we can write d by dt of Q. Q is C E naught sin omega t. So I will be E naught by 1 by omega C cos omega t, because C E naught, if we put the values of differentiation, d by dt of sin omega t will give you omega cos omega t. So it is written in front of you guys, and if we get the maximum value, then cos omega t should be 1, I naught will be E naught 1 by 1 omega c. So this is equal to I naught. So that's why in the equation I is equal to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2 is written, because cos theta is also equal to sin 90 plus theta. So it is written the summary why we have written this way. X is the capacitive reactance and its SI unit is also ohm like XL. Here current leads the EMF by voltage pi by 2. Now if we plot the variation between them, you will find here EMF is starting from 0, whereas current is starting from above, that is, it is leading it by an angle of. In the same way, if we have started with this, we get this kind of variation. I naught is leading the voltage by an angle of 90 degree in this situation. You can see also in this situation. Now variation of XL with frequency, we know that XL is equal to omega L. XL is the inductive reactance and omega is 2 pi phi. So XL will be 2 pi FL. So XL is directly proportional to F. So if we plot the graph of variation, it will give the straight line to us. Variation of XC with frequency, X is 1 by omega C, or X is equal to 1 upon 2 pi FC, because omega is 2 pi FC. So X is inversely proportional to frequency. So if we plot the graph of variation, it will be in this way. Now inductance L cannot decrease direct current, it can only decrease alternating current, because it depends upon omega. Capacitance C allows AC to flow through it, but it blocks DC, because in case of DC, omega will be 0, XC will be infinite. It means it will offer infinite resistance for the flow of current through it. Now AC circuit, we have LCR together. They are connected in series, same current will flow through them. VL, VC and VR the voltage across inductor, capacitor and resistance. It means current is same, but voltage will be different across them as they are connected in series. In case of resistance, voltage and current are in the same phase. whereas in case of inductor, voltage lead the current by an angle of 90 degree. In case of capacitor, it will lag the current by an angle of 90 degree. So in the next we have seen that this VL minus VC can be written. If we take VC in offside, so we have VL minus VC, where E will be the resultant of them. So if we calculate E, it is going to be V square R plus VL minus VC whole square. So if we put the value VR as IR, VL as IXL and VC as IXC, so I will be outside, and finally we can write I is equal to E divided by under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square, and this is known as impedance, which is represented by Z, which is R square plus XL minus XC whole square, and our XL is omega L, whereas XC is our 1 by omega C. And talk about tan phi. Tan phi will be perpendicular upon base, so it will be XL minus XC by R, and we have this value omega L minus 1 upon omega C R. So tan phi is equal to XL minus XC by R, or tan phi is equal to XL can be written as omega L, where XC can be written as 1 by omega C by R. Now special cases we take when XL is greater than XC, that is omega L is greater than 1 by omega C, tan phi is positive or phi is positive. The current lags behind the EMF by phase angle phi, and the LCR circuit is inductance dominant circuit. When XL is XC less than XC, that is omega L is less than omega 1 upon omega C, tan phi will be negative, phi is negative. The current leads the EMF by phase angle phi. The LC circuit is capacitance dominant circuit, where an X is equal to XC, definitely omega L and omega 1 by omega C will be same. Tan phi is 0 or 0 degree. This is, in this case, current and time EMF will be in the same phase. So impedance will not depend upon any type of frequency, it will only depend upon resistance, because XL minus XC will be 0 in this situation. Now this is the end of the first part of alternating EMF. Thank you, students.